Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 11th day of April 2019. Well, a master number 11, illumination. I love the 11. I do. I did a tarot reading, in case you didn't notice that, on the blog over at imsteppingaside.com. I used the Robin Wood Tarot, and I wrote it up, I think, on Monday. And it's what I noticed right off the bat is that I drew 6 cards, and I had 3 groupings of 11. So so you had that master number influence, and then of course if you add them together, that's 33. And then what was interesting is that if I did the numerology just of the whole reading itself and not thinking of it from that standpoint, I came up with an overall numerology of 6. So, which you could break down into that 33 basically. So I thought that was just an interesting synchronicity throughout that whole reading. And so I wrote it up, and you can check it out there on the blog if you like. But we're doing this a little bit later today. Like I said, my husband had his other doctor appointment at the VA this morning, and I went in with him. I usually don't, and I did. I shouldn't have. But he doesn't always say everything he needs to say, and that was the case today. But they don't like the fact that he doesn't take the medicines that they want him to take. We prefer to do, because I'm an herbalist, we prefer to do things as naturally as possible. It's not that there's no place at all for allopathic medicine, because there certainly is. It's just that I would prefer to do things more naturally, and so would he. We've actually healed a lot of things naturally that doctors have never been able to do for us. So there's merit to this, but I wasn't there to, rub anyone's nose in that. I was just there because when we were there on Tuesday, the place was packed, and I didn't know if I got up to use the bathroom or something that I'd have a seat left when I got back. So I just went in with him, Normally, though, I don't. So, needless to say, there was a little bit of competition-style dialogue going on between me and the doctor. They're not always as magnanimous or accepting of herbalism, and he's no different. So I don't know what to say. My husband's doing well, so I don't know. He's more healthy now than, physically, than he's maybe ever been. And at 65, I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think his eyes look good. When he was there on Tuesday, and now, he's just doing so well. It'd be nice if they could just say, well, keep up the good work, instead of, well, good luck with that. It's just that over the last 5 or 6 years, everything is getting better for him. So why wouldn't you just say, hey, why don't you tell me what you did? Maybe I can share that with other people. Maybe if you try what this guy did, maybe you might feel better. These are some options. Be a doctor, in other words. Be a healer, in other words. Anyhow, let's get started today. If this is your first time, thanks so much for stopping by. Click subscribe. I'd love you to do that. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate it. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the first card here. We're going to do ultimately 3 cards, but we'll do them one at a time, and then we'll look at a rune. And as always, I take the 13th card each time. And if I get a court card, unless it's the third one, I'm going to draw another one. And of course, I'm going to draw another one anyway. But I got the King of Pentacles. As many of you know, I'm not a fan of kings. But on balance, the King of Pentacles is typically a benevolent one, unless he's all caught up in his own riches or wealth there. But you see him with his back to the kingdom. You see all of the finery around him. Looks like grapes. And I think we decided the other day that these are not oak leaves, but they're grape leaves. But I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, these are grapes. And these leaves actually look a little more grape-like, but some of them just look like oak leaves. I have grapes growing, so I mean, I know what a grape leaf looks like, and it doesn't look like this, at least not the varieties I grow. Maybe there are some, I have no idea. But in any event, we won't argue about it. We'll just say that these are grape leaves. So you see his abundance all around him, his wealth, his legacy, his financial security. You see the ram's heads up above there. You know, he's still an authority figure. It's just that the King of Pentacles is typically more grounded. You know, he's a little more realistic, I think, of all the kings. I suppose if he's too ill dignified, then he'll just sit around and not do anything. But otherwise, I think that he's all about keeping the kingdom alive, you know, and keeping it protected and taken care of. And so basically, he's about using his authority to do that. To set boundaries is another one that he's good at doing. And so, of course, if he's not, then, you know, he can be out of control that way. And maybe he's more about taking care of self instead of, you know, the greater, you know, collective. Let's do another card and see what he has to interact with. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, I can't get a card out today. I keep wanting to drop them here. Well, we have the Ace of Wands, so we have the beginnings of will. So we're going to manifest maybe some new experiences. Don't know yet whether or not we want the Ace of Wands in front of the King or if the King begins this reading. But you're talking about the earth element versus the fire element. And so, you know, earth is again about grounding and about our structure, our physical structure, physical form. And the Ace of Wands, now we're going to manifest something new. So perhaps we've, you know, maybe we're doing okay, you know, in our lives. Maybe we've got some abundance. Maybe we're doing okay. We're doing even well. But now we're going to go and do something new. You know, you can kind of get stuck in your own rut. You know, on the earth element influences, you can kind of get stuck in there. And so you don't want to get so comfortable that you never ever try for anything else. And so maybe that's what's going on. We've kind of reached the saturation point of our comfort level because this kind of looks to be saturated in grapes and whatnot. Okay, I mean, they're just everywhere. You can't really even see him. He sort of becomes the grape, essentially. Becomes his own vineyard. And he doesn't seem to reach outside his comfort zone. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe we've just gotten a little too comfortable and now it's time to reach outside of that comfort zone and do something else. Let's do another card. All right, I need to count these again. I'm just going to start all over again. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Sometimes it's hard to, you know, with my thumb pushing them out. I don't know. They don't want to cooperate. They want to stay in the deck or they want to fly out there somewhere. It's like, no. Now, okay, so we have the Knight of Swords. I'm going to do a fourth card, I think. I did that one time. I think it was last week. I think it was the week before last. I ended up doing a fourth card. It turned out to be a really cool reading. Um, the thing about court cards, all right, is that you're dealing with two separate issues with them. Really, you're dealing with the individual on the card. So a king is going to be an older man with authority. All right, a page or a princess, as they're known in some decks, that's going to be a student or a seeker. It's going to be about a message. Your knights are going to be an older person than the student. So someone that's already gotten themselves out into the world. Only they're out there making their way. They're on their grail quest, or they're out protecting people, or something. But there's a passion to the knight that you don't see. The page or the princess is going to be someone who's going to be more studious and more focused and more grounded, getting things established. But see, the knight is what happens when you've done that and you're ready to go now. So you're out there conquering the world, basically. And that's what you have here. But what you have with court cards is you either have the individual on the front of the card, or you have the qualities therein that the individual possesses, both positive and negative. So, and here you have, being the swords, that's the air element. So we have earth, we have fire, and we have air represented here. But the Knight of Swords is willing to go into battle. He's willing to stand up for truth. The air element is about communication. It's about reason. It's about legalities. It's about fairness. It's also about swift movement. I mean, you can see it. Everything is moving very quickly here. Now, he's not really in battle mode, not yet, because the visor isn't down on his helmet, is it? It's like they're charging out into the world, but there's no danger yet. So exploring new ideas, new possibilities, new opportunities that we're going to manifest with the Ace of Wands. So that was the impetus. So I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll start with the king. We'll leave him there, and we'll leave the Ace of Wands there, and then we'll have the Knight of Swords come in and pick up the wand and pick up that new take that new manifestation of will, employ that in his didn't mean to go to the front of the screen there. Sorry about that. Ooh. I didn't terrify anybody there. I gesture a lot. Anyway, but then we have the knight coming in, and he's going to go and manifest all of that. He's going to go look for new opportunities and make his mark on the world with whatever this is that he wants to manifest from the Ace of Wands. So right now, I mean, you're talking, the only number card here is the ace, and so that's new beginnings. We don't typically assign numbers to the court cards, although you can. So the page or princess would be an 11, the knight would be a 12, and so that would be a 3 energy. So that's catalytic. So that sort of explains the whole passion of the knights. It's a very catalytic energy. The 3 is. The queen would be let's see, 11, 12, 13. The queen would be a 13, so a 4. So your fundamental structure. It's also I consider it the master witch number. At 13 is also the 7. I consider it that. But 13 would be, structure and foundation, showing that it's really the queen that is the structure of the family. It's not the king. And then the king would be the 14th card, so that would be a 5 energy, and that would be change. So it kind of gets you, you begin with some change, you're learning new things, and then you go out and you manifest, and then you bring it back to the queen, and then the king just sort of, gets in the middle of all of it, and you just never know. So let's do one more card. Well, I think this ties in. It's the 2 of Wands. Here we're in a doorway. We see a merchant, man of means. He's holding a globe in his right hand, sort of his world at his fingertips. It's almost like he's looking out over the water, and it's almost like he's waiting for his ship to come in, only I don't think being wands that it's a passive experience. I think he's waiting for something he created to manifest. You see the two pillar, or you see the two wands that he's standing between, or the two staffs that he's standing between, and that's a doorway into new experiences. And so I think that what we have here, I think that we have actually the order. I don't think we need to move them around. So I think maybe we got a little comfortable with the king, and maybe we've got some investment income or something, or we can maybe take some time away from our regular job to go look for another one. So it might afford us to be able to quit the job before finding another job, although typically that's never recommended. But you never know. Maybe you've got a windfall, and you can just sit back for a little bit while you choose your new way forward, because maybe you're leaving your business or your job to maybe start your own business. You don't know. The Ace of Wands could definitely indicate something like that. But basically, say we've gotten too comfortable and we're a little bored, and now we want to manifest something new. So we get that all going, and then we have the Knight of Swords come in, and now we're going to go out and make our way with that. We're going to go and present that to the world. It's not just going to stay up here or in the planning stages. We're actually going to go out and we're going to manifest that. And then with the two, we're waiting. We're waiting for whatever that is to take hold and to manifest. Two is about decisions. It can be maybe we're going to make some decisions. Maybe, in fact, although I kind of like this guy at the end, we could theoretically put him next to the Ace of Wands, and now we've made a decision and we're waiting, right, for how that's all going to play out. And then we go and we make it manifest. But see, I don't think so. I think this belongs after the ace. I think we'll go king, ace, knight, and the two. But let's see here on the two if there's anything else that I can find. Yeah, I mean, new endeavors, potential wealth. So we got comfortable. We then decided to manifest some new stuff. We're going to go out and make that happen and present it to the world. And now we're waiting to see what the return is on that investment. Interesting. Maybe that's happening for you out there. Or if you're just, maybe you've been doing the same thing forever and ever, and it's time to maybe try something else. Or this describes something that's happening in your life. Maybe you're in this whole process of trying something new and going out and presenting it to the world, and then waiting to reap the benefits, because that's really what he's doing there. And here we have Ingwas or Ingus, which is the 22nd rune of the Elder Futhark. The master number 22 is for the cosmic builder. It's double the 11. So today, with our day of illumination, we should be taking that and building something with it. But Ingwas can mean the genetic inheritance. It can mean the seed. It can mean but it means sudden expansion from within. So it's really going to align well with both the Ace of Wands and our Knight as he explodes out into the world to manifest, to go and show everybody, here, look at what I've been thinking about. Look at what my plans are. This is what I want to do. Maybe he's looking for investors, so he's presenting it out there to somebody. So in that case, then you would see the order of this would be the rune would be in between the Knight and the two, wouldn't it? Because it's going to expand, and then we're going to reap whatever benefit, see what comes back to us. Because in a sense, that's what you do when you wait there by the water, or you wait at an airport. You're waiting for something to come to you. whether it's a relative or maybe a family member coming back home or whatever, something's returning to you. So the two of wands gives that feeling of waiting for something to, but it's purposeful waiting. It's not just random, it's purposeful. So I would say then that it's likely related to this and whatever it is that he's manifesting. And see, the ace is, it doesn't mean that it's happened, it's in the genesis of it. Well, groovy. That's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe maybe you've just been stuck. Maybe you've been doing the same thing all the time, and now it's time to break out of that same thing that happens all the time. You know, and now's the time to do something new. Or it's what you've been doing, and it's about to come to fruition. Either way, it looks positive. Either way. So, well, nice. Well, okay. I guess that's it. I will not be back until Monday. And so, if again, if this is something that isn't in the process for you yet and you've just been thinking about it, maybe take the weekend, and really start to think about, April is kind of a month for that, of starting new projects and generating new ideas and stepping outside your comfort zone and just getting out and doing and allowing everything to grow and you to grow with it. So I think that it makes sense that this is coming up now. And maybe take this weekend to just sit back and really think about, where do I want to go in life? Do I have an opportunity here to maybe make some changes that might make things better for me, for my family, whatever it is. But take time, stay out of autopilot all of the time. We end up there a lot, don't we? Where we're just always doing the same thing all the time and we don't really think about it. We just do it. Well, this is telling us, maybe stop and think a little bit. Make sure this is actually what you really want to be doing. Who knows? Little tweaking here and there. You might manifest all sorts of things without actually blowing everything out of the water first, leaving a job or something to go do it. Perhaps you can do it within that same structure that you're in. Just a little bit of nudge in a little different direction could make all the difference. And so anyhow, doesn't have to be big. It could be little changes that can have a really, really big effect. And maybe not today, but maybe, 6 months down the road, it might. So anyhow, so think about that. And we will see you on Monday. Again, check out the blog over at imsteppingaside.com if you like. But other than that, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for coming by. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.